Let's start. So now since if we talk about the noise margin calculation of inverter, then it will depend upon the type of load. According to the type of load, the different noise margins will be there. However, we are dealing with CMOS inverter, so we will calculate only the noise margin of CMOS inverter. And if time permits, then I will show you how to calculate the noise margin if a resistive load is there. Okay. So right, we have seen this is a CMOS inverter, right? And this was the VTC characteristic. So in this VTC characteristic, total 5 points were there: one, two, three, four, and 5. In the first point, your N was your MOSFET NMOS was your in the off condition, and PMOS was in the linear region. Whereas in the last case, your PMOS was off condition and NMOS was your in the linear region. So these two are the required characteristic for the ideal operation. However, when there is a transition, it has to go through a number of regions, that is N will turn into saturation, P will retain, but here both will go into the saturation, and then your NMOS will leave the saturation and enter into the linear region, whereas PMOS will go from the saturated, it will retain its saturation and then go to the off condition. So in order to calculate the noise margin, let us recall. So noise margin is nothing but two types of noise margin: high noise margin and low noise margins are there. So whenever we transfer any signal, like two inverters are there in the cascade, and this is the output here, and this is the input here. So this and this signal should be in the same phase. So but when it is traveling through a wire, what happens, there is, due to noise, there is some modulation of the voltages. So that modulation is given by this level, and here also it goes to this level. So till what modulation it is acceptable, that is denoted by VIH, and for the low logic it is denoted by VIL. So according to the noise margin definition, high noise margin is given by VIH. This is VOH, the top is your VOH, VOH minus VIH. That will give you your high noise margin. And what is low noise margin? So this is your VOL. So it is VIL minus VOL. So VIL minus VOL will give you low noise margin. So when we are going to calculate these two, high and low noise margin, we need to know VIL, VIH, VOL, this is VOL, and this is VOH. Okay, these four are required, right? But since if we consider it as an ideal inverter, what should be my VOH? VOH which should be, if it is an ideal, and I will say the perfect inverter is that, like the on resistance is very low, less, so very less drop is here. So what will happen? The complete supply will come to the output. So I will say that VOH will go to VDD and VOL will go to 0. So we have identified two regions considering it as a CMOS logic. What what about VIL and VIH? So in order to calculate VIL, I have to go the mode of operation of the transistors, and other property, at this VIL, my slope is -1. So using this concept, we will calculate VIL and VIH. So this is your CMOS inverter. So in this CMOS inverter, if we go for calculation of VOH, so when VOH is calculated, when Vin is low. So when Vin is low, Vin is 0, what will happen? This will be in the off condition. This is in the on state, and all the charge will pass to the PMOS and go to the output. So we say low means it is that much low that transistor is not in the on condition, extremely low point. So we get V out nothing but VOH, and if it is a perfect logic, then you will get VDD. There is no logic degradation. Now when we comes about VOL, so VOL is calculated when Vin is high enough. Okay, high enough means how much it can go? It can go maximum up to the supply. So Vin is when VOH, that is nothing but VDD, we get VOL, that is V out equals to 0. So we can say direct computation of VOH and VOL can be done. But suppose in case of PMOS, if it is a resistive inverter, then that case what will be VOH? Then I need VDD minus IR drop. That will be your VOH. So I need to know what is current flowing and what is R here. Okay. So that we'll see in some other class. So this is the VOH and VOL of CMOS inverter. Now comes the calculation of VIL. So how we can calculate VIL? Now we know VIL is the point where let us first see again in the graph. VIL. VIL is the point where the slope is minus 1. The slope is minus 1 and NMOS is saturated and PMOS is in linear. So I can say VIL is the point where the slope is minus 1, input is nothing but VIL, and NMOS is in saturation and PMOS is in linear region. So using these informations, we have to compute what should be VIL. Now from the diagram, what we see here, whatever the current flowing, we are dealing with the static condition. Okay, so there is no DC condition we are dealing with. So there is no resistor. So all the current will flow through the NMOS. No current will flow here. Okay, so IDP is nothing but IDN. Now using this, since we know IDP is IN, so what is IDP? IDP will be equals to, now we know IDP PMOS is in the linear region. So if I write the equation of linear region, IDP in the linear region, how it can be written as? If you remember, it is mu P Cox W by L, then VSG minus mod of VTP into VSD minus half VSD square. Okay, this is written in this form. Further, it can be written as taking half common. So it will be half mu P Cox W by L. Then here it will be 2 VSG minus mod of VTP into VSD minus VSD square. Okay, so this mu P Cox W by L can be further written as half Kp. Okay, because it is a PMOS, so suffix P comes in the bracket 2 into VSG minus mod of VTP minus into VSD minus half V, so not half, my, 1 minute, let me erase. What we got here, VSD minus VSD square. Okay, so we got this is IDP linear. Okay, further this equation can be also seen as, further this equation I can also see as this. I will erase now this part. Okay, so this equation further can be written as IDP in the linear is equals to half Kp in the bracket 2 into, now this VSG, if I interchange the terminal, like say if I interchange like VSG, if I want to write in terms of VGS, so what will happen? Minus sign will come here. I can write here like this, minus VGS, and this minus of mod VTP. We know VTP is nothing but the negative quantity. So if I remove mod, what will happen? It will change to plus sign. So what I can write here, minus of minus VTP. Okay, and then minus of minus VTP into VSD. If I interchange the sign, it will be minus of VDS minus VSD or VDS, it will remain always same because a square form is there. So actually I can write here VDS square. Okay, so I can write like this. Further, it is half Kp 2 into, take the minus sign out, here also minus, so this minus and this minus both will go into the multiplication form, it will become plus, so we can write here VGS minus, this minus is coming out, so VTP into VDS minus VDS square. So we got this equation. Okay, so this equation is what is written here in the slide. So what is this? The according to the region of operation, my IDP is IDN, but my PMOS is in linear and NMOS is in saturation. So saturation means half mu n Cox W by L, where this Kn is nothing but mu n Cox W by L. Okay. So that into VGS minus VTS. So VGS is nothing but NMOS minus VT whole square, and the linear equation is, this particular equation is written here. Okay, in terms of VGS. So why I have done derivation in terms of VGS, because it was written in this, so you should know that this is also correct form, and if you write in the initial equation, that will be also in the correct, that anyone you can do, that you have to take care of sign notations, that's all. So we can write this equation, so this is my equation 1. Okay, so this is my equation 1. Now in order to solve the equation 1, we should know what are the values of VGS, or what are the values of VGS or VDS in terms of V in and V out, because we need to find the expression in terms of V in, V out, VDD and ground. So what is VGSN? VGSN is nothing but input voltage V in. What is VDS? VDS is nothing but V out. So V out. What is VGS of P? So VGS P means VG minus VS. So VG is nothing but V in. So VG is nothing but V in. That is your VG. And VS, S is nothing but supply. So this is Vs. So VGS is V in minus VDD. And what is VDS? So this is VD and this is Vs. So VDD minus VDD minus, that is VD minus Vs. So VD is V out minus Vs is VDD. Now we will use this all these values into the equation. So when we put into the equation, that is half means VGS minus VTH whole square, and this is the equation. In this equation, if we substitute, the VGS n will change to V in VT naught as it is Kp VGSP. So VGSP is V in minus VDD. So this V in minus VDD is nothing but VGSP. Then VT naught P is that is it. What is VDSP? So VDSP is nothing but V out minus VDD. So this V out minus VDD is your VDS of P, and again here VDS of P square is there. Okay. So we have substituted all the values here. Okay. So we got this equation. Now in the next step, so we got this equation. Now in the next step, we know in order to calculate VIL, VIL is the point where the slope is -1. Then slope means here it is the not the, it is the curve of V out and V in. So the slope is dV out by dV in. So we will take the derivative with respect to V in. So taking the derivative both sides with respect to V in, we'll do the derivation both the side, and then we'll equate the dV out by dV in equals to -1. So when we take the derivative, what we see in the left hand side, derivative is very simple. What is happened? What is the function of V in? This is the only function of V in, and this is constant and this is constant. So we can easily do the derivation in the left hand side. Now coming to the right side, what we see, there are two terms. This is first term, this is the second term. So this is also having V in here. Okay, in the first term V in is there, and V out is also there. So this is constant, so 0 it will be, this is constant, this is constant, this is constant, but these two are the variables. This is also variable, this is constant. So this part in the second term, doing this dv out by dv in will be easy, but in the first part if you see, there are the two terms are there which you have to perform the derivation. So now you recall your product rule. What the product rule says, if there are two functions, so first take first term as a constant, assume, and then take the derivative, then plus take the derivative of the second product term, and first term you can take as a constant. So we will apply this rule into this form in order to get the solution. So so we will write the this is the RHS word, and there this was the two terms. Let's say it is product 1, this was your product 2. So in the LHS, if you do derivative, so kn by 2, kn by 2 means what it will give me, derivative will give me kn by 2, and v in minus vt naught whole square, it will be 2 into v in minus vt naught, and dv will dv in by dv in, it is nothing but 1, and this 2 will cancel out, so we'll get LHS as this one. And in the RHS we'll do again the same thing. Okay, so here also it is divided in two parts. We can divide that, it was a square, so a square can be broken as two parts, so it is two parts written like this. So now taking the derivative in the RHS part, what happens in the first, kp by 2, this is constant, kp by 2. Now if we assume this one as a constant, so derivative of this part will be v in only 1, and others are constant, so it will go to 0. So we'll get as a v out minus vdd into 1. So this is the first one. Now taking this one as a derivative and this one as a constant, so we'll get here v in vdd v out as a constant, and then taking derivative, what it will give me, dv out by dv in, and this term will be 0. So we got this value. Then going to the second, minus v out minus vdd. So v out minus vdd, again the same thing. So directly also here, instead of doing this, you can directly do dv by d in of v out minus vdd whole square. So directly you can do 2 into, what it will give me, 2 into v0 minus vdd into dv0 by dv in. Okay, so in the second step you will see we got this value here itself, 2 v out minus vdd and dv out by dv in, and from the first equation if you rewrite, it will be in the this form. So we got this equation. So once we got this equation, then rearrange the term. So this 2 and 2 can cancel out. So we will get here kp v out minus vdd, and this term with the slope minus this 2, when it goes inside, this 2 and this 2 will cancel out. So here also there is no 2, we have where we have done pull out of 2. So v out minus vdd, and the slope is there. So finally we can write the RHS as kp v in minus vdd into dv out by dv in, this one. Okay, plus v out minus vdd minus v out minus vdd into derivative. Okay, it's just the rearranging of the terms. So when we write the complete equation, what we can write, the LHS we have got, what was the LHS, kn into v in minus vt naught, so that is your LHS. And in the RHS, what we have got, kp into this complete equation. That complete equation is rewritten here. Okay, so now we'll apply the conditions of the curve. So what the curve says, the curve says if you substitute dv out by dv in equals to -1, then my v in is nothing but vil. So let's prove the condition. So placing -1 means kn into v in minus vt naught, kp into v in vdd vtp naught, and this will slope is nothing but -1. So -1 will come here. Similarly, in this case, this is constant, no change here, and here -1 is substituted. So after that, again the solving is there, this will retain as it is. So take the minus sign inside, and then here also minus sign inside, and then few terms will cancel out, and you will get the expression in this form, Kn Vin minus Vt naught Kp, and this equation will come after you do the solve the redundant expressions. Now we know this minus 1 the case when the input was VIL. So we can substitute Vin equals to VIL also in this equation. Fine. So when we substitute V in VIL, so what we can write here Kn. V in place of V in we will write here VIL. We can write here Vt naught Kp 2 V out minus V in means this is nothing but VIL. Also it was VIL. VTP naught VDD VDT. Okay, it's just the substitution. Once you have solved for the slope of minus 1, it's just the substitution that input is nothing but equals to VIL. So now after the substitution of this one, we got here this equation. Okay, we got here this equation in terms of, so this equation came from slope minus 1 by taking derivative. Okay, so we have taken the derivative of 1 and then we have got this equation. Okay, so now we'll solve for VIL. The target was to calculate VIL. So VIL is existing in LHS, also in RHS. So now the rearranging of terms. So how to rearrange is just based on your practice. So Kn into VIL, just multiply the product term inside, then Kp into 2 V out, multiply by Kp in all the terms. So all places Kp will go. After this one, take the VIL part at one place. So VIL is at this position and VIL is also in this position. So this one I can pull here. So what I can write here, Kn VIL, this minus will change to plus Kp VIL. Okay, and then other terms are without VIL term, so we can place into the RHS part. So this term is Kp2V out, so Kp2V out, Kpv out, Kpv out, then Kpvt naught. This part, this is minus, so it will go in the RHS, that will become plus here, and then Kpvdt. Okay, it's just the arranging of VIL into the LHS part. So once I have arranged in VIL, then take the common. VIL is a common, so Kn plus Kp comes here and RHS will remain as it is. So VIL I can write here Kp 2V out, Kp V out, Kn V out minus Kp VDD divided by Kn plus Kp. So this is the VIL expression in terms of what it is on. It is shown in terms of V out, it is in terms of VTP, VTP, VDD. So these all are constants, only this is variable. Okay, but others are constant. So now further simplification of this equation is there so that it can be easily recalled. So how it is simplified? Let's take the divide the numerator and denominator by Kp. So dividing by Kp, you will get all the equations are divided by Kp in the numerator as well as denominator. So when we divide, what happens? This Kp will cancel out. We'll get here 2V out. This also Vt naught. We'll get here minus of Vdd and Kn by Kp. So this Kn by Kp is denoted by symbol Kr. Okay, this is denoted by Kr. So Kr into Vt naught, and this will be Kr plus 1. Kr plus 1. So this is the VIL expression that you have to always remember. Now if you see, what is the things to note here, this still depends upon V out. Okay, so what is happening here? This VIL is still a function of V out. This means to get a numerical solution, we must solve this together with our expression relating the drain currents. Okay, so how you will solve? Now this is equation number 2, let's say. Okay, so equation number 2 says VIL, to calculate we need to know V out. So we need to find an expression which should be a function of V out. Okay, so that what will happen, number of equation will be equals to the number of variables, then we can calculate. Here what is happening, two variables are there and one equation is there, so we cannot solve this one, so we need another equation. So what we can do, we have all done, these all are the equation which we got as equation 2. These all are, this came by solving this set of equations, by solving this set of equations, again solving this set of equations, again solving this set of equations. Okay, again solving this equation. So from here, when we started taking the differentiation, then we got equation 2. This means this is the part which is not came into derivation. Okay, this means I can use this equation. Okay, so definitely this equation will result in some variable, in terms of some equation which will be not identical to equation 2. Okay, this means before taking the derivative, what are the equation left out with us is this equation. So this is without derivative. Okay, and equation 2 was a function of, means we can say here this is equation 1, and derivative of 1 is your 2. So derivative of 1 is your 2. So this means if I want to say what are the two equations which will be required, so that equation 1 I can recall here, this is equation 1. So what will happen in this equation, instead of v in, this was your v in, this was your v in. Okay, so instead of v in, I will write here VIL, and when I have not taken the derivative, then that time when input was VIL, what should be the V out? So when we solve this equation in terms of V out, so I will get a, when we solve this one, we'll get here this equation as a function of VIL and V out, and also this equation 2, here it is function of, this is also a function of VIL and V out. So there are two variables VIL and V out in equation 2, and also there will be two variables in VIL and V out in equation 1. So there are two equations and two variables are there. We can easily solve for VIL. Okay. Another way you can think, we know VIL. Okay. And in this equation, we can substitute v, in place of V in VIL. So this equation you can pull here and you can substitute here and here. So what will happen? At the end, the resultant will be equation in form of V out. So you will get here V out equals to some X value. Okay. So when V out is computed in terms of constants means your Vt and Kn or Kp. Okay. So when V out is computed, take this V out and substitute back to the equation. You will get here the value of VIL. Okay. So this way also you can compute your VIL. So this is the method to calculate VIL. Fine. Now, so from the curve, this was the curve. So what we have done here, we have calculated, we have known that VOH is nothing but VDD, VOL is nothing but 0, and VIL is nothing but some 2 V out and some function is there, and we have computed. Okay, so what is left out? Left out is your VIH. So what is VIH? So VIH is the point where the slope is, so what is happening in VIH? The slope is -1, and when it is -1, so we can say V in is equals to VIH. Okay, and then at what point, what will be the exact V out? Okay, generally what we are saying that at VIH there will be VOL, so we cannot guarantee always that at VIH we will get VOL, because output will change according to the dimensions. So in order to get the design equation, these are not the standard equations, these are the design equations. Okay, design equations means which will change according to your device to device. Okay, so if you see here like VIL calculation, it is a function of V out. This means at VIL, it is not always certain that V out will be VOH. It can be any value. It will depend upon your threshold voltage as well as the amount of supply. If there is fluctuation in supply, your VIL will change. So we cannot always guarantee that V out will be fixed to this one. It is also a function of threshold voltage. So however, these are manufacturer constants. So nothing will happen here. So what will happen to the supply fluctuation can be there. And this is the ratio KR. So what is KR? KR is nothing but Kn by Kp, and further Kn is nothing but mu n Cox W by L of NMOS, and Kp is nothing but mu p Cox W by L of P. So if we say okay, mobilities are constant, and let's say mobilities are same, so this can be cancelled out. Cox also, let's say the uniformity is there in doping in making the oxide thickness, so this can be also cancelled out. So this means this ratio will be function of dimensions, dimensions in terms of W, that is width, and in terms of length. So this means if you change your width and length, your VL will keep on changing. Okay, so this is actually the designing. Okay, when our desired characteristic, like our desired VTC is not coming, like what I want, then what we do, we play with the width and length of the MOS transistors. Okay, so playing with width and length means according to the width and length we adjust and we look like heat and trial we are doing, and we are looking where we are getting the exact desired curve. Where we are getting that curve, then we will take that WNL and then we place into the equation and we calculate what is my VIL. And once VIL and VH is known, then we say this is the noise margin for this particular inverter what we have designed. Okay, so in this way we do the designing. So VIL is here. VIH calculation I will do in next class.